Hello, I am Mike Kibler of Kibler's Typewriter Company. Today I'm going to be showing you how to change a ribbon on a typewriter. Roughly 98% of all typewriters use ribbons. Now for those of you who have ink roller or ink pad machines like Williams or Blickensderfers, this video really doesn't apply to you. You'd have to make your own or buy from some sort of specialty shop, but ribbons are still the most widely used and widely manufactured typewriter inking method available. You can even buy them from my shop, which you can find the address of which in the blue box on the upper right hand corner of the page you're on watching this video. Now when you're looking to get a new typewriter ribbon for your machine or install one, always make sure you have the proper spool. Now the reason I say that is because not all spools were the same for typewriters. Each typewriter company designed their spools to uniquely fit their own brand name. That was so that if, say, Oliver made a typewriter and you could go buy a royal ribbon for it because it was cheaper, they didn't want that. So they made their own little monopolies. Royal ribbon couldn't fit an Oliver. Only an Oliver could fit an Oliver. So, yeah, don't ever try to force a ribbon spool in a typewriter ribbon cup if it's not going in. That's going to cause damage, and damage is expensive for typewriters. So, after you have the right spools, you also need to see if you have the right kind of ribbons. Now, ribbons sizes range from all over the place, from 5/16 of an inch to 1.5 inches, and they can come in 1 color, 2 colors, or even 3 colors. But today I'm not going to explain any of that. I'm just going to show you how to change a typewriter ribbon. That's for a later video. If you try to put a different size ribbon in your ribbon vibrator in your typewriter, you're going to cause some messes. It's not going to work like you want it to. It's going to get messy. So don't try to be cheap. Buy the right size ribbon, even if it's a little more expensive. You're doing yourself and your typewriter a favor. Now, when it comes to changing the ribbon, there are a few things you need to remember. Always be gentle, because you're working with really small parts, and if you tear the ribbon, you're going to be out of luck, and you're just going to have to try burn it together or something. But just be gentle. Also, the ink is washable, so if you get a little bit on your hands, don't worry. You don't need to wear gloves. It's washable with some soap and water. That's why it's so good, because it's not as messy as it used to be. Because it used to be you had to make your own ribbons, and you had to take these huge tar. It's like ink used to be tar. You had to dip in vats, and that's the same way they made carbon paper, and it's just really messy. But now they're not as heavily inked, and they're made of a different material, so you don't need to worry about getting your hands wet with ink. Alright? So I'm going to get a close-up there. This is by the way, this is my Royal KMM, serial number KMM 12-2727943, made in 1940. And this is just going to be for this typewriter, model typewriter, and this kind of technique is going to be used on most typewriters, but it could be different. If you have problems, just ask me, contact me, whatever. But this is going to be the most common type you'll see. Now I'm just going to pop open the dust cover, or the hood as I like to call it. And the reason it's called dust cover is because it keeps dust out of all the mechanisms, including the ribbon. Now you'll see ribbon spool caps covers on other machines like Royal Porables or Underwood or Hammonds or Olivers even, and a whole bunch of other machines. That's because if you get dust on your ribbon, and if you're left out in the air too long, it's going to dry up and crack and get hard and going to be useless. And it's also going to collect dust, which makes the type ink really messy and not leave a good impression. So just protect your typewriter with the mechanisms that's already built into it. That's why they're there. So we're going to install a 1/2" all black ribbon fitted on 2 standard Royal spools. Now, these will fit most Royals. That includes standards and portables, but right now we're just going to worry about this machine. So you always want to make sure, we don't have to worry about it right now, but you have to be sure that your ribbon orientation is right for the color. This can take a 2-color ribbon, but I'm not going to show that. But 2-color ribbon, the ribbon selector down here has, on most typewriters, it has red, black, or selector, which is white. Now, when it's on red, the ribbon vibrator up here, that part bay back here, when it's on red, the ribbon vibrator goes up the highest, and that's what you want when you're working with a ribbon, so that you have more room to work with. Black goes up 1 slot space, and stencil doesn't even remove the ribbon vibrator, and that's to if you want to do repair work on it without getting the paper or plating all dirty with ink, you can do that. So slip it on red, or whatever your typewriter has to get the selector up in the highest position, and you want to first work your ribbon, make sure it doesn't get twisted at all, because that can cause a mess too. Put in the ribbon guides, and that's to keep it off the type bars, to keep everything from getting all dirty. So you grab the ribbon vibrator. The ribbon vibrator is the part that holds the ribbon against the platen, or near the platen, and you put the ribbon behind the ribbon vibrator. And you work it in there, and almost every typewriter has a different type of ribbon selector. It's really confusing. I really wish that they didn't have to worry about marketing and monopolies and all that junk. And sometimes you can tabulate a machine. Oop. You have to make sure, do a little test to make sure everything's in straight and right. Why don't you go in? And you do that, and you just move the ribbon until it's taut. So now it's in there all the way, and just select it on black or red. Move the ribbon selector around down here, the ribbon reverse down here, to make sure it works both ways. See the spool's moving. This one's moving right now. Now the right one should be working too. Alright, and that's good. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to do a quick typing test to show the effectiveness of the ribbon. Now the typing test that I'll be using is the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog, which uses, once again, it uses every letter of the alphabet. That's a test to make sure all the keys work. Alright, so let's begin our little typing test. I'll get a close-up too. And that's a beautiful impression. Absolutely gorgeous. Quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. And yeah, that's about it. All you need to know about ribbons as far as installing them. If you have any questions, contact me. This has been a production of Kibler's Typewriter Company. And until next time, I can't wait to see you. So this is Mike Kibler, and signing out.